Pete Alonso is coming to Baltimore. 5 years, $155 million. So there you go. The offer was on the table for Kyle Schwarber. 5 years, $150. Well, he talked about it. Cost of doing business. What do you have to do to entice these guys to come here? What do you have to do to push it over the top? Well, different players, but $5 million more. Yep. Got it done here for Alonso.
Jeff Passan and John Heyman were the first to get this one out there. This is a guy that's been an all-star 5 times. He's been an MVP, top 10 vote getter multiple times. Rookie of the year with the New York Mets, coming off a season in which he played all 162 games. 41 doubles, 38 homers, 126 driven in, OPS 871, plays first base, so somebody has to go. Mike Elias, David Rubenstein said we have the financial wherewithal to make a splash like this. And this, to me, is a bigger splash than Kyle Schwarber, who was a DH. This is a guy that takes over first base. Now, what do you do with Kobe Mayo? Ryan Mountcastle is due to make $8 million in arbitration. That ain't happening to ride the bench, I don't think. So Pete Alonso coming to Baltimore, pending physical. And we've seen the Orioles doctors be a little more, remember, who was the pitcher? Aaron Seeley and some others.
Well, Hoffman last year.
Yeah, the Hoffman last year. Oriole doctors maybe probe a little bit more than others. But this is some pretty significant news. I didn't think they'd bust one like this one down in Orlando, but Pete Alonso's coming to Baltimore, and I'm assuming that there are still some fans out there that'll bitch and complain about this one, because that's what fans do, never satisfied.
Just give them a little time. More details will come out on this, obviously, but right now Andy Koska tweeting out that there is a limited no-trade clause as part of Pete Alonso's contract, says per source. So don't know the finer details on that, but little no-trade aspect there.
Aren't there opt-outs always kind of a big fancy thing in today's negotiating aspect of it?
That's the bigger detail that I have my eyes on. Because remember, that's what he had to settle for with the Mets the last couple of years. They were already short-term deals, but he's been seeking this long-term money for a while. The Mets weren't going to give it to him. And I'm almost wondering here, because I was reading a report from Mark Feinsand, that the Mets weren't willing to go more than 3 years for Alonso, which made me think that, all right, if they're going to do the same thing that the Phillies did with Schwarber, go figure out your market, come back to us, give us a chance to match it, that the Orioles, maybe after the Schwarber thing, had that in the back of their head and said, well, maybe we would prefer to go 3, and maybe then we prefer to go 4, but if this is what gets it done, go 5. There's no way he takes that back to the Mets and they say yes.
Yeah, John Heyman, as a matter of fact, just tweeting out that the Mets are surprised he got a 5-year deal.
There you go.
So they have lost both their closer, Diaz, and their slugging first baseman, and Pete Alonso, in the last 24 hours. So Pete Alonso, pending physical, coming to the Orioles, 5 years, $155 million, and as Nolan said, limited no trade. And we'll see if there's an opt-out after a year or two. But this is by far the biggest free agent signing that Mike Elias has made as the Orioles, whatever his title is now. And one of the bigger ones the Orioles have made in quite some time, I would think.
Don't say an opt-out after 1 year. Nothing would bring us down to a screeching halt faster than learning that. I mean, it's still big news, and it helps you try to win now. That's what's most important. But thinking that you got a slugger here to be in the middle of your lineup for the next 5 years and that there's an opt-out after 1, oh, my God. I'd beside myself.
And the thing is, too, and I'm just reading, is games played since he made his debut in 19. 161. The COVID year, he played 57 because they didn't play 162. 152 and 21, 160, 154. The last 2 years played every single game. Where Tyler O'Neill can't stay healthy, Jordan Westburg can't stay healthy. This guy is nothing but the epitome of hitting the post every single day. So Pete Alonso, this is significant news if you're an Oriole fan. And as Mike Elias said when he met with the media a couple of days ago, we played it in the opening of the show, this doesn't mean that they're done. They still have the money to go out and sign themselves another starting pitcher because they're not even approaching last year's payroll of $160 million. And you would have to think, as we just said, that Mayo, Mountcastle, they've already extended Basayo, so I'm guessing he's as untouchable as Gunnar is at this stage. One of those guys, if not both of them, are gone. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a Beavers for someone of that ilk out the door as well, because Kerstad's got zero trade value right now.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
We're open for business. And free agents as well. Hey, let's get something done before the winter meetings are done tomorrow. We got the momentum. Put the league on notice. We're willing to spend. It's real. It's not just talk. Come to Baltimore.
Yeah. Apparently he's going to wear number 17. He took it from Daniel Jones, just like Phillip Rivers did as well. So Pete Alonso coming to Baltimore, according to reports, pending a physical. We'll talk about that bottom of the hour with Rich Dubroff. But let's get out to the phones. 410-583-1057 is the number. Go to Joe in Woodbury. Joe, how about that little breaking news as you're on hold there?
Hey, man, I'm loving what I'm hearing. Always good to hear good news, man. And I'm sitting there just scratching my head about this extension that they gave our tight end. I forgot to tell you guys, that's my favorite position on the field. I remember I tried out for tight end at Lake Clifton back in the 70s. But like Vinny said, my feet were at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, so I couldn't run. Hey, Vinny, plus I was knock-kneed, so I couldn't do it, Vinny. I tried. But that's my favorite. That was my favorite position growing up as a kid with the coach. You can think of the tight ends they had.
Ray Chester, man. Morgan State.
Man, come. Just keep going. But I'm saying all the great tight ends all around the league. Dave Casper was one of my favorites. Yep. I mean, it was so many, but the one we got ain't one of them. Right. I mean, even Todd Heath. I mean, even when we brought in the mouth. You know who the mouth is, right? Shannon Sharp. Yeah. I'm saying, man, tight ends are worth it because a lot of times, man, the receivers can't get open, the running backs can't run. You depend on your tight end. Now, what Mark Andrews done in the early stages, to me, that was due to the inability. That's the SAT word, y'all. That Lamar Jackson could not really throw the ball. He had his fingertips on the ball. And when Vinny told us that the first time, I was like, dang, even I know not to put my fingertip on the ball to try to throw it. Yeah. Man, he been doing that all his life. Shut up, computer. But anyway, but I'm just saying, man, y'all need to tell me what did he did other than be, a faithful employee? So they extended him 3 more years. And what is it, 3 years, 36? I could have did something better with that money. And Eric DeCosta, man, I just don't see him as a good evaluator of players, man. But that's all I'm thinking about today, y'all. So y'all tell me why y'all think he got the extension when at one time early in the season before the trade deadline, he was on the trading block for a lot of people around the league. But it just lets us know now that likely ain't going to be here. Likely, right? Okay. All right. They need to address the offense and defensive lines next year, else all of them should be gone. Take it easy, fellas.
All right, thanks, Joe. It's funny because Andrews got an extension but barely got any targets against the Steelers, too.
Yeah, I think he had one.
It was the second half, too.
Yeah. And the thing about it is if you're Likely's agent, and if the Ravens call you now we'll wait for free agency because, Likely's probably going to have to take a 1-year deal somewhere to prove it because he's not having a spectacular season this year. And with Andrews, I think stability probably is what got him. Does he win one-on-one routes? No. He's got to bully you to get open, play basketball to get open. In zone and stuff, he's good, and he's a very average blocker.
Yeah, and he's had the dropsies a little bit this year, too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And Likely never seemed to get over the foot injury that he had in training camp.
He's had something every game, Bob, where we're talking about Likely and it hadn't been good.
Yeah, it's not in a positive way, that's for sure. Positive, how about the Orioles? They get Pete Alonso. Nolan, no opt-outs, right? Isn't that the report?
That's right, Joel Sherman. No opt-outs. Alonso deal full, 5 years.
155 pending physical. Until that's done, but proceed with caution.